Before we get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really asked.
If you're 57, younger to you would be 35, maybe 25 at the least. But anything under 25, if you're 57, you have to control your lower nature. You have to control your sexual urges because your sexual urges will get you robbed. They will get you unalived. Your sexual urges will get you sued. You will be accused. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Travis, and welcome to the IPH Theory. Also, I am one half of the Cultural Discussions. Please like, follow, and subscribe to both, to both entertainment channels on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get right into it. I'm here to discuss the Hall of Famer, Shannon Sharpe. He was a great tight end in the NFL. Just an overall seems like a good person to me. He might make some crazy decisions like we all do. I'm not here to come across as Mr. Perfect because I am far from perfect. I ain't never made this mistake though. But, let's get straight into it. As you all know, Shannon Sharpe, he's been in the headlines lately because he dealt with a young lady that he met in the gym, and she turned around and accused him of harassment and grape. And he used to be on Undisputed with Skip Bayless. He used to be on, I believe, on CBS Sports, talking football on Sundays. And lately he was on the First Take crew with Stephen A. Smith. But it turns out that ESPN and Disney has cut ties with Mr. Shannon Sharpe. According to The Athletic and the New York Times, ESPN has cut ties with the NFL Hall of Famer and media analyst Shannon Sharpe less than 2 weeks after he settled a lawsuit with his ex-girlfriend who accused him of basically harassment and dealing with each other in an intimate way, even though Shannon Sharpe said that everything was consensual. And I believe Shannon Sharpe. I do believe that everything was consensual, but I was not in the room. So please, ladies and gentlemen, don't go off on me. I was not there. All I know is Shannon Sharpe was being sued for $50 million, and he recently just settled. I heard that they settled for $23 million, which is a lot of money. That is an expensive lesson to be learned. And, Shannon Sharpe, from my research, he is currently 57 years old. And when he and the young lady met, she was, I believe, 19 or 20. Right away, that's an issue. If you're 57, I'm not saying don't deal with a younger woman, but if you're 57, younger to you would be 35, maybe 25 at the least. But anything under 25, if you're 57, you have to control your lower nature. You have to control your sexual urges because your sexual urges will get you robbed. They will get you unalived. Your sexual urges will get you sued. You will be accused of things that you might not have done. But this is a lesson learned. And it's crazy that she used to be an OnlyFans adult film star. And on OnlyFans, they do a lot on there. A lot of degenerate activity on there that revolves intercourse or adult entertainment. You know, I try to watch some words that I say on my platform. You just have to, because, you know, YouTube might throw you in a negative algorithm. So you got to watch the words that you say. But anyway, I do have a video from Mr. Shannon Sharpe, and let us take a listen to the video.
Before we get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know I said this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, you know, it didn't happen that way. And so, as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, you know, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first two brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and this is what the headline's going to be for the next couple of days. So, bro, again.
But yes, this was a lesson learner to all men. We must control our nature. I've heard rumors and seen articles that Shannon and his podcast club Shay Shay and Nightcap that he has with Ocho Cinco or Chad Johnson, that they had $100 million deal on the table. And I'm hearing and reading that many sponsors have backed away, because if your name is surrounded with a negative situation or news story such as this that has to do with sexual misbehavior with the young lady, like I said, I'm not accusing him. I was not in the room. Based on my opinion, I feel like everything was consensual, but he settled for, I heard, 23 million. That is a lot of money to lose from a young lady who you just retired now. You know, this is an unfortunate situation. It's a sad situation, but this is a lesson learner. Gentlemen, control your lust, control your lower nature. And you don't want to learn an expensive lesson like this. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to be unalived, and you don't want your lust to get you robbed or set up. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Travis. Have a wonderful day.